Good evening to one and all. The School of Ancient Wisdom is very happy to welcome all of you to yet another learning session this evening. We thank you for your participation and welcome all of you in the ongoing webinar series. As always, we would like to begin with our school prayer. I would request all of you to please join me as I have pasted in the chat box. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom, O hidden light, shining in every creature, O hidden love, embracing all in oneness, may each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Thank you. Today, as you know, we have with us Mr. Yogeshwar. With the grace of his gurus, he has a decent level of expertise in the practice and teaching of traditional yoga and facilitating self-knowledge in the light of the teachings of Vedanta. He follows the traditional methodology according to the Advaita tradition of Sri Shankaracharya for Vedanta, Yoga Sutras of Maharshi Patanjali for Raja Yoga, and approach of Tamil Siddhas for Hatha and Laya Yoga practices. So, Mr. Yogeshwar, we thank you very much for your valuable time and truly appreciate it. We now hand over this forum to Yogeshwarji to engage us for the next 1 hour and request him to share his knowledge and insights with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayaji. Namaste everybody, and Pranam Swamiji, and we will start our session with our usual Mangalacharan. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunatu, Sahaviryam Karavavahi, Tejas Kavavahi, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat.
Yogeshwarji, kindly turn on the camera. Yeah.
And how it turned out. I'm keeping. Was I audible? The prayer was audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So, last class, in the last session, we had a brief introduction. And I also said like how we would like to gradually warm up these sessions and give the direction to these sessions based on the input from you people, from the participants. Because the nature of the topic is like that. The nature of the topic is Nishta. And Nishta is something where we establish ourselves in whatever is, that whatever is our commitment, whatever is our undertaking, whatever is the goal that we would like to pursue, be it a time-bound goal or the timeless goal of knowledge, self-knowledge. Here in our context, we are restricting this to spiritual goals. There are so many spiritual goals connected with inner growth, goals connected with yoga, goals connected with bhakti, goals connected with tapas, our goals connected with our better nishta, being established in the knowledge, jnana nishta, which is more like learning to live, basically learning to live our understanding. Whatever is our undertaking, whatever is our commitment, in this line of commitment, learning to live and make it our experience, make it our living reality, what we understand to be the best possibility, according to our best version of understanding in our line of commitment. So basically, this is Nishta. Right? So, in the spiritual realm, in our tradition, we usually talk about when they say, this person is a tapasvi, they say he is a great taponishta, the one who has established in tapasya. He is a yoga nishta. He is established in the process, in the practice of yoga. And he is a jnana nishta. He is established in jnana. So we saw these basic points. Now, all of you here are here because you are already in the pursuit of a spiritual goal, a limited spiritual goal, or the ultimate spiritual goal of the unlimited, which is the self-knowledge. Or if you are a Bhakta, Vaikunta, Shivaloka, etc., whatever, Salujya with your deity, depending on the school you come from, right? So you already have it. And you must be doing some practices or you must be doing some explorations going ahead. So I asked you all to make a note during the week to do some self-observation and see what you are lacking and what you would like to, in which aspect you would like to improve upon, or if you have any questions which is not clear, to make a note and bring it to the class and discuss. So in this context, I have asked our coordinator, Ms. Maya, to give the email, and so that you can send it there, and then she will forward it to me. Based on those questions, I will prepare my class and I will organize my thoughts accordingly, and I will answer those questions in the class. And we can also go ahead with that. And you can also, suppose if you did not do that, you can also send your questions here. So last class we did have a couple of questions and we discussed these topics. So this is how I would like to take this class, because Nishta is something that has to be relevant for you. It is not about, because I can broadly say, I can go into the concept of what is called as in Yoga Shastra they say antarayaha, and then there is this the limiting, the impediments to the practice of yoga are there: vyadi, dhyana, samshaya, pramada, alasya, etc. And also we have the factors that will contribute to make you a better sadhaka, like the sadhana chatushtayam. So these are all general things that they are discussed in every Vedanta class and every lecture. And if you are in a Vedanta class, it is discussed in a more systematic way. But basically, the same things are discussed in different packages in different spiritual classes. So otherwise, it becomes a lecture. I will give you all my blah blah blah, and then you hear and go. But if I'm able to make it relevant for you, with your help, of course, and then you are able to, we will be able to make this class, this session, a more lively and a more useful for the participants. You're coming a nice evening, 1 hour, you're coming and sitting with me. So I would like to see if I can really touch each one of your lives in your practices in any tangible, useful manner, so that you can take home something, not simply give concepts. There is enough concepts. Like, you have Chat GPT. You can go to Chat GPT and say, Titiksha, tell me about Titiksha. And it will Google and it will give you Titiksha is a Hindu concept of endurance, blah, 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 right? So when you have that, why do you need me? So it has been my quest in the last 2 to 3 years. It has been my quest. One of my main things as a teacher is, what can I contribute that Google or AI cannot contribute? So where am I making a difference? Why do you need a teacher? So basically, I will have two things. One is I will have to reach out to you with my assimilated knowledge, of course, with the background of the framework of the tradition in the background, not just talking whatever I experienced, because my experience is my experience. It's not relevant for you. So using my experience and my whatever is the with God's grace, whatever teaching I have been exposed to, Shastra, and the framework, the basic framework provided by Shastra, to elaborate the experience, and in a way that is relevant for a need that each one of you have recognized. So if I am addressing a need that you have recognized already, then, because this is how it was in the tradition, I also told, like how the guru is supposed to be. When we see in the Shastra, they say the guru is like embers. Embers means like the coal. When you have the fireplace, the fire has died out. There is no flame, there is no flagration there. But you have the fire in the coal, the fuel in the fire is there, a little bit covered by ash. So if you have to go and blow it. You have to go and blow it and add a little more fuel, it will catch up. It will catch up, and then again you have the live fire with which you can cook. Right? So similarly, a teacher is supposed to be like Anal. Anal is the Anal. So the teaching is supposed to happen like that. The teacher is supposed to be passive, and the student is supposed to extract the teaching. But since nowadays we are coming forward and making available a context so that many people can participate, it's more like a satsanga. So there is, of course, we can give upanyasam on different topics. But if when it comes to Nishta, if you people give me inputs, then I will be able to make it exactly relevant for the topic, and you will see that we will emerge in a very beautiful direction. The series will get steered in a direction that is very meaningful for all of us. So if anybody had worked up in the last 1 week, if you have made any notes, you are welcome to share here, and I will proceed from there. I will give 2 minutes time. If you have already thought about something in the last 1 week, based on what I had discussed in the last class, I will wait for that. Or if something comes up in your practice. So basically, any impediments that you face in your personal practice, or any mismatches between your understanding and your experiential reality, there is a gap. How to bridge the gap, because that is the title of our series, Bridging the Gap. You can share that. Something comes up to the mind, because you are here for a reason, you are looking for something. So you just have to share what you are looking for, and I will address that. Around this topic of Nishta, bridging the gap between our understanding and our being, knowing and being.
I have given an access to unmute yourself. Kindly unmute.
You may also type it in the chat box. I am seeing here. If you are feeling shy to. It has to be connected. It should be anuprashna, in keeping with your personal practice and with your the efforts that you are making in your spiritual life. Or it can be something that you would like to understand deeper in order to practice. Like that.
I am Janakira.
Namaste. Yes.
I don't know whether you are able to listen to me. You are able to hear me?
Yes, very much. I'm hearing you very well.
Okay. So the way our spiritual goal, as I understand, or as most of us understand, is to go towards, move towards more acquiring self-knowledge. And that self-knowledge means understanding that I am just not body, mind, intellect. I am the Atman or the soul. And others also Atman or the soul.
Okay.
So once we understand this, these two huge really, what is the direction by which we have to take steps on this? Because apparently it is quite simple. And the soul can and then the soul says is beyond senses and it is not understandable, and it is chapter 2 very clearly says it is beyond the mind, intellect, everything. So really, what is this Nishta, spiritual Nishta we should do then?
Right.
That is my query.
So yes, Janakiramanji has asked about, basically his question is related to Jnana Nishta. How to make our knowledge, the information, what is there at the information level, how to make it part of our, how to make it a living reality. A simple thing in our everyday experience. How this Jnana Nishta works is like this. First, we have to understand the Jnanam, Atma Jnanam or the self-knowledge is knowledge. And knowledge takes place in the intellect, in our buddhi. This is where we need to get out of spiritual fancy. The problem with this Jnana Nishta is basically the spiritual fancy, because see, the information at the information level, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am the pure consciousness, for example, is the information that you and I have, and it is also the information is the yogi in Nirvija Samadhi who is sitting in a Nirvikalpa Samadhi that and comes out of that, who goes and comes out of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, that person also has. But the person who is well established in the Jivan Mukta, let us say, a Jivan Mukta is living this knowledge while we are living the Viparita Bhavana. What we say is our Bhava, our Bhavana, our experience is upside down. It is contrary to this knowledge. I am Atma, we say, okay, that is all that theory, but fundamentally I am hungry now, please give me food. Let's take this example. I am hungry now, give me food. Don't talk to me, Advaita. Karyadvaita, they will also quote Karyadvaita Karichit. Do not bring Advaita in our everyday activities. When you are hungry, you need food. See, even sannyasis are going and taking bhiksha. So when I am hungry, I am this body. After I have eaten food, then I am Atma. So this is the reality. So what do we do with this? So here, this is where two things we need. One is to understand that what we call as a Jnana Nishta is also in the intellect. We are experiencing that. We are all experiencing the Jnana Nishta with respect to things which we have, on which we have very good abhyasa. Abhyasa means practice, right? We have been habituation. How much you have habituated, how much you have done abhyasa, that much the knowledge will be there. A simple example that we all know is your name, my name. Let us say your name is Janaki Ram. Right? So you are going somewhere in a market or a mall or somewhere, you are just taking a walk in a supermarket, looking for your things. Some 3-4, a lot of noises are there, so many voices are going around, people are talking, discussing, somebody is fighting, one kid is yelling. Now all this is happening. And then in the middle, you suddenly, some two people are talking. Hey, I think Janagram said he is going to come today this side. Have you seen him somewhere? Somebody is talking. The moment you hear your name, instantly from inside you, yes, somebody, me, I am, aham. Somebody said Janagram, immediately I am comes up. There is no effort at all. So now I am Janakiram. That bhava, I am Janakiram. Right? This conclusion is there in the buddhi. At what level is there? Even in your dream, somebody calls you Janakiram, you will turn. In the dream, somebody calls you Hanuman, you may not turn. In the dream, you will be thinking somebody is calling Hanuman. Somebody was calling Hanuman. And then, he'll come and say, hey, I'm calling you. Then you will tell to that person, I am not Hanuman, I am Janakiram. In the dream. Right? So similarly, if you remember this, when somebody gossips about you or talks about you, instantly that the whole sense of I am awakens in our consciousness, and then our whole attention goes toward that this is about me. That conclusion comes. Right? Nishchayatmaka Buddhi. So the conclusion, they are talking about me. The person is not pointing to you, not talking to you, the person is just telling your name. Then immediately you say, he's talking about me, and then you say, yes, you are talking about me, I am Janakiram. Then you say, oh, sorry, we are talking about some other Janakiram. Oh, you are yes, Janakiram. We are talking about K Janakiram, not you. In this, because my official name is Kartikeyan in school and all that. There is always 3 or 4 Kartiks. So somebody will say, so then they will say D Kartik, M Kartik, S Kartik. So then they removed the Karthik. It became only MK, DK, SK. It's only initial. So everybody calls me MK and the other guy is DK because it's D Karthik. No, in my school days. So then you say, oh, that is some other Janigram. This is not me. Right? And then you say, okay, go. Then later, after 2 minutes, they are saying Janigram. They're talking about, then again the gossip about Janigram continues. Your brain shuts it off. No, it's not me. Right? So now, this is the experience with respect to our name. My name is this. I am this. My name is this is gone. It becomes I am this. Correct. Right. Similarly, you are so this is at the very, very fundamental level. Now you will say that okay, this is we have been given that name from childhood. We have been called that. Now I am the body. I am the individual. Now there's something that you got habituated from childhood. It is so difficult to change. Forget that. Even there are more superficial things. Superficial things would be like, for example, I am a fan of a cricket team. This IPL. So many teams are there. Because I'm Chennai, I know I'm Chennai Super Kings. I see the poster everywhere. I'm sorry, I'm not very cricket person. I don't know much about this. I know only two teams. One Chennai Kings, and then there is one Rajasthan Royal. These two names I remember. Some Calcutta something is there. I don't know any other name. So if there is any Bangalore team, I don't know, please forgive me. So these IPL teams are there. I'm a fan of some Chennai Kings, Super Kings, right? So you are a fan of a cricket team. Or if you are in Germany or somewhere, you are Brazil, you're a fan of a football team, people can kill each other with that. Or you are a fan of an actor. When I was a kid, Rajinikanth fan or Kamal Hassan fan, that is always school. Nowadays, we have this, why is right. So in my school days, there was this, I am Rajini fan or Kamal fan. Like nowadays in Tamil Nadu, we have this Ajit fan, Tala fan or Talabadi fan. That is a big deal in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu. So there will be similar things. So now this fandom, you think you are a fan. This is something we acquired late. Up to 10th standard, 6th or 7th standard, you are somebody's fan. And then up to high school, you are somebody's fan. In college, you are somebody's fan. And once you are in a job, you are married, somebody's fan. And then your kid is somebody's fan. So you are putting the same t-shirt. So because of the kid, you are also fan to support the kid. Then it somehow gets inside you. Right? So we internalize a lot of identities for us. We internalize a lot of identities. We internalize an identity connected with our job. Hello, sir. So who are you? Then you say, yeah, I am a retired engineer. I am a retired professor, or I am a professor, or I am a student. I am an IITian, or whatever. This kind of things. So these identities we keep taking upon us. And how are we experiencing the identity? How are we experiencing the identity? Because of abhyasa, identification, we are constantly, without repeating, we are repeating in our head. I am this, I am this, I am this. Without repeating, we are reinforcing. So in so many ways, we reinforce. And so then it becomes our living reality. Correct? Abhyasa. So this is exactly how the knowledge that I am not the body, I am not the mind also. So suppose you have been spending a lot of time on one kind of fandom. It is very difficult to detach from that political party or something. You spent 20 years, 30 years on something. It's very difficult to de-identify from that. That starts defining your sense of self. So in English, they say a residual self-concept. It's called the residual self-concept. It is in the buddhi. In Vijnanamaya, in the buddhi, in the intellect, only this is there. It is not somewhere, that self-knowledge which is beyond the knowledge and ignorance. That they are talking about consciousness. So that is neither knowledge nor ignorance. So it is knowledge of knowledge. They say, but it is not knowledge, but that is not useful. That is there all the time. You as a self-conscious, self-referral awareness, you are the awareness, the quality that makes awareness, consciousness possible. You are that. That is always there. That is your reality. But the problem is the ignorance or the superimposed adhyasa, what they call in Vedanta Shastra as adhyasa. That is the false sense of self that we have gotten habituated to in our buddhi. So that is what we are correcting by telling. For example, when you say, first what we have to do, we have to very clearly understand. Here I would like to tell something with respect to this question that I am not the body, I am not the mind. Of course, the experience of samadhi is very useful for strongly establishing this non-identification with your body, mind, and intellect complex. De-identification for that samadhi experience is very useful. When it is combined with the shastric knowledge, the samadhi experience is very useful. But it is not essential. One of the main things about Vedanta Shastra is availability of your entire ego structure. You have to be completely available for the knowledge. That is what is mostly necessary. And you can understand that you are not the body, mind, and intellect and your identity, etc., even without samadhi experience. So that is the beauty of Vedantic teaching. Because the waking state analysis, what they say, avastha traya prakriya, they say. The analysis of the waking experience, dream state experience, and the analysis of the sleep experience that we have every day in our everyday life. A proper analysis of this with the help of the right teacher, that alone is enough for self-knowledge. You do not need what they call as some transcendental or some extraordinary experience that is, they say the fourth state and all that. These are all just talk. Right? There is no fourth state. You are the fourth. Waking, dream, sleep. These are the three states of the mind. Samadhi is nothing but in the waking state, there is no thought, there are no intellect, there are no projections, there is no movement of the buddhi, there is no movement of the ahankara, everything is absolutely still. That is samadhi, which is the part of the waking state. That is not some fourth state. So if you are talking about the brain state as a brainwave coherence, they say, right, alpha state, gamma, beta, and all that, then there are so many states, there are so many gradations within alpha, there are so many gradations within beta, there are so many gradations within theta. So that is different. That is the brain state, and then based on the brainwave frequency and coherence level, we can categorize into so many mind states. Again, it is another state of the mind which is either happening in the dream or which is happening in the waking state. Or if you say sleep, then it is sleep with dream or sleep without dream, NREM and REM. So as an experience, there are only three, avastha, traya, waking, dream, and sleep. There is no fourth state experience. The fourth is you. And you are present in the waking state, you are present in the dream state, you are present in the deep sleep state, and you are not the waking person, you are not the dream person, you are not the sleeping person. These three sense of I am, these three sense of limited experience of the self, the conditioned experience of the self, these three states keep, these three experiences of the self, the conditioned experiences of the self, keep alternating in you as the background. This is the understanding. So this understanding, when you keep on keep on listening to the Shastra, keep on listening to the teaching, and be in satsanga, and maintain company with the people who are established in this knowledge, and constantly remember what we call as nididhyasana. Every time I am going through an everyday experience in my everyday life experience, we have to be very watchful about how our sense of self asserts itself every moment. Now, somebody calls me Yogeshvar, and then I say, yes. So when I say somebody calls me Yogeshvar, and the sense of I pops up, I must be able to see this I as the functional I meant for this context. This Yogeshvar is my name. I am not Yogeshvar. This de-identification, this understanding, I will have to remember this understanding. Probably you can create something like a mantra. For example, you can say like a few practices, the reinforcing practices, like abhyasa. That which effort which helps you to get established in a state is called abhyasa. That is Patanjali's definition. Sthiti, something that improves your sthiti The yatna, the effort that helps you improve your sthiti in something, being established in something, that is abhyas, right? So, a simple example. For example, every time you experience a pain, or a pleasure, physical, simple. You are eating food, sambar, rasam, then you have payasam, vada, and all that, eating food. Each one is different taste. Some things you like, some things you don't like. And there is Karela, many of us don't like. I'm assuming you don't like. So let's say you don't like that Palakai Karela. The bitter gourd is very bitter. You don't like it. But we have been told it's good for diabetes, good for this, good for that. So you have to eat that thing. So then you say, okay, it's healthy. Let's see. So there are some, in your banana leaf, there are some 3-4 dishes there. So something you like, something you don't like. So you eat something that you like, you see that, oh, I like it. That liking comes. You can objectify, you can analyze that experience. You can just tell yourself, oh, this pleasure is, I am not the enjoyer of this pleasure. A simple thing, like a joke, you can do it like a joke. You eat some food, and then after eating food, you say, I did not eat. Krishna did that. He ate an entire, he ate a whole pot full of butter. And then he said, if I have not eaten any butter, let this river part. And then the river parted, and then the Gopikas could cross the river. And then the person who was next to him, he said, man, what a fraud are you? You just ate all the butter, and he said, I did not eat the butter. That stupid river is also listening to you. And then he said, then he explains how I am Atma is not the Bhokta, how Atma is not the Karta. The knowledge, self-knowledge is there. I don't know in which scripture I heard this very nice story. So you can have this practice. A simple thing, like every time you eat something, tell yourself, I did not eat. You are walking. I am not walking. The one who walks is not me. And try to see how it is. I am experiencing, but I am experiencing. I am the one walking. I am only feeling like I am walking. Now I am talking. Now I am listening to this lecture. How I am not now can tell you that I am not listening. Please, you are listening, but I mean, conceptually you are not listening. The one who listens, you are not that. The listener, you are not the listener. The listener is you, but you are not the listener. You go into that. Now you are not listening. When you say you are not understanding that, what does he mean? I am not listening. But my experience is that I am listening. But he says, I am not listening. Then you understand, you see how the sense of now I am the listener. Before the session started, what am I? Now I am the speaker. Before the session started, I was not speaking. So I am the non. So what am I then? Then sometime in the morning I was taking bath. Then I was going somewhere, riding in my bike somewhere. So then I am different person. Similarly, with respect to identities, in front of your wife, you are a husband. In front of your child, you are a father or a mother. In front of your father or mother, you are a son. Not in front of your teacher, you are a student. Every time an identity comes up, this is the exercise. Every time an identity comes up, see the temporariness of that identity. That this identity started, now it is operating. Then it is going to be something else. And then when you switch identity, see, oh, that time I was that, now I am this. When you go into a party or some kind of a festival, a marriage or something, an occasion, you meet a lot of people and ask you, who are you? And then you introduce yourself. And then some of your child's friends are coming. Then you're telling, oh, this is that person's dad or mom. And then you're going in front of your wife's family. Then you say, oh, it is her husband. You are going in front of your husband's family. Oh, she's his, oh, you are his wife. And then, oh, you are his or her son. All your identities keep popping up. That's a fantastic moment for Nididhyasana. You can just see how all these identities, I am. Every time you say, oh, you are that person's father, you say, me, I am. Oh, you are that person's husband, yes, I am. You are that person's son, yes, I am. So what am I? I am this, that. No. I am, all this is me. But when all this is not operational, then also I am. In the night when you're going and sleeping, remember your sleep, deep sleep, you have deep sleep. You woke up in the morning. I'm like, I am here. But I was not experiencing this me. But I remember I slept very well. So now I am awake. but I feel I was here before this, before being awake also, I feel I was there. Just stay with that recognition. Simple recognition. You don't have to tell you are Brahman, I am Atma. You don't have to tell anything. You have to simply recognize the rising and falling of different identities that go in front of your constant sense of self. I am the father. I know I am the father. I see that I am the father is coming up. The feeling of I am the father is coming up and gone. Now I am something else is coming up, gone. How your sense of self keeps on coming. I don't like something. Oh, I am not liking it. So somebody asks you, hey, do you like it? Oh, I don't like it. Now I am the disliker. I am presenting myself as the one who does not like it. Oh, do you like it? Oh, it's wonderful. It's fantastic. I am presenting myself as the one who likes it. Just see that. Make it a habit. This habit of non-identification. How much you have done abhyasa of identification. I am this, I am this, I am that. Similarly, we will have to develop the habit of, oh, I am not this, oh, I am not that, I am not that, I am not this, I am not that. Constant de-identification, de-addiction. This we will have to do. This is called Viveka Kyapi in yoga. Understanding what you are not. No? Atma Anatma Viveka, they say, no? This Viveka. So we can practice this. This is a very tangible practice. When you keep practicing that, then slowly that knowledge, whatever you have learned, will start kicking in and becoming more steady in the background. You don't have to keep telling. It's like this. I will finish this answer with this small story. There's a beautiful story. One of my gurus, Swami Shantananda Puri, used to tell me his famous story, Ashtavakra. It's about sage Ashtavakra. So King Janaka was sitting on a the river bank. He was doing japa. Aham Brahmasmi, loud. Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. Ashtavakra was looking at this funny guy who was telling Aham Brahmasmi. Okay, fine. So he went and sat next to him. He said, "This is my Kamandala, this is my Danda. This is my Kamandala, this is my Danda. This is my Kamandala, this is my Danda." And the king got annoyed. Who's this guy shouting, disturbing my japa? And then he looked at him and said, okay, from Sadhu. So I don't want to get cursed or something. Some Sadhu I should respect. So he gets up, goes away and sits a little farther in some other, step, little far away. And then he says, must be. Then, with all the thing, he walks up there and sits next to him. This is my Kamandalam, this is my Dandam, this is my Kamandalam, this is my Dandam, repeats. Gets really annoyed and says, Maharaj, who said this is not your Kamandalam, this is not your Dandam, it is your Kamandalam, it is your Dandam, why are you shouting that? Then he tells me, who tells you are not Brahman, why are you yelling that? So don't shout, just be. So we have to understand, when you say Aham Brahmasmi, it's an understanding. So every time it's not the word, it is the meaning. When you say Aham Brahmasmi, we have to realize the impact of that meaning with respect to ourselves. Right? So this is one in a light-hearted way of Ashtavakra helping King Janaka in his Atmanishta. Right? So just consider all these points, but basically the practice starts like this as the practice of Viveka, of non-identification. That's what we need to do first. All the temporary sense of self, that identity that rises and falls during our everyday experiences, we will have to investigate that, and objectively, we have to objectively investigate our sense of functional self that rises and falls as a response to our everyday activities. It's very easy. You don't have to sit and do pranayama. Nothing. The mind is automatically going out. We are doing something or the other. And even when you watch a movie, when you watch a movie, you are responding to that. While you are watching a movie, instead of watching a movie, you can see how your responses come from inside. Every response comes based on whatever you have been habituated before. So, every situation in life is a opportunity for nididhyasana. Observation of the sense of self as it rises and falls. So that's very subtle. If you are not, try that because this is what is the target practice. Try that. If you cannot do that, then you can learn to observe simple gross phenomena, pleasure and pain, and your responses to pressure and pain. Start observing that. Start observing your responses to different experiences, pleasant and unpleasant. pressure, pain, bland, all these experiences. The physical, simple physical. You take a deep breath. There's a different sensation. There is a different sense of being pleased. When you hold your breath, there is a struggle, there is wanting to take the breath. Watch that. Then take a breath. And then see how it changes. Like that, when you do some japa, there is you start the japa, you have a lot of motivation to do the japa. Your involvement is there. Suddenly you are doing japa of something else. Suddenly you are responding to some thoughts in your head. Then you recognize I am distracted. Right? Then you remember, oh, I have to do japa. Now see how you are being affected, and how you are remembering, how your smriti, your remembrance, recollection, how it brings you back to the path, and how something takes your attention. This is something that we can observe. How something attracts our attention, both inside and outside. How something attracts our attention. Before involving our sense faculties, you feel like there is something going on. Immediately you feel curious and you are looking that what is that? Somebody is going on the road, it's familiar. So something attracts your attention. You are in you are in a supermarket, and then suddenly one product is attracting your attention. So the moment you feel your attention is attracted, don't give in to that. Feel that attraction. Feel how your attention is how something is asking for your attention. That urge to look. We can start looking at that first. That's very easy. First, watch the sensations, and then watch the urge behind your sensations. Urge before the action. Before we do something, before we apply our attention to something, let us observe that urge before we get involved in something. In action. Before that, urge before action. Observe that. We make a habit throughout the day, in every little thing. It may look like I'm not letting you have fun, but if you feel that you're not having fun, I'm not enjoying life, I'm constantly, I'm like a Zen master paying attention. What is this? I can't just relax and enjoy life. Then you relax. So you pay attention for 10 minutes, then another 5 minutes, you relax, enjoy. Again, come back to paying attention. Take a break. Okay, next 1 hour, I'm going to do self-observation. Whatever I'm doing, I'm going to observe. Tell yourself and do that. So as we do that, this becomes a habit, self-observation. Observation of the functional sense of self as it rises and falls becomes a habit. Cultivate this habit. That will be very useful for really realizing and internalizing the meaning of what the Shastra tells as what you are. I hope it answered your question. I have some inquiries.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, very well given with a lot of examples, and definitely has given a direction for Nishta, sadhana, practice.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
the bottom line is, do not expect a transcendental experience. That is the bottom line. That is the most misleading teaching that is there in the spiritual market, telling you to go into some altered state of consciousness. You don't need an altered state of consciousness in order to understand the true nature of the self. This is the bottom line. We will have to remember. That will save you a lot of trouble. Please remember that. It comes from investigating everyday experience of waking, dream, and sleep.
Yes, clear. Thank you.
And this knowledge happens in the buddhi, in the intellect, not beyond the mind. Knowledge is in the mind. Beyond the mind is you, and you are already Brahman. We don't need anything there. What we need is transformation of the ignorance in the mind, removal of ignorance, which is in the mind. So it is very, very important that this is happening only in the buddhi, and it does not require, though a transcendental experience is very useful, like how Arjuna went on a trip with Krishna's Vishwarupa Darshanam. It was useful. It may be useful, but it is not essential. Right? I'm going to read some. This is my first session. Difficult to remember the learnings at the correct time.
Sorry, sir, you have missed one more thing. That is
one more. Yeah, something was about concentration. Yes. Concentration is my problem. It's everybody's problem. Yeah. in
Can I
doing
read out
Sudarshana
it for
Kriya
you?
or other exercises, mind wavers. So generally, this is a very popular practice, the Sudarshana Kriya. The Sudarshana Kriya is not meant for, Sudarshana Kriya is basically a high Vata practice. It increases your Vata. So you will not get concentration in Sudarshana Kriya. You will get only what you call as a Muda, as kind of a stupor at the end of it, which, it's like a spaced out kind of feeling. Because Sudarshana Kriya is not a pranayama, it is not meant for concentration. So you don't look for, if you are doing the technique correct, it has some health benefits probably. You just go ahead with that. But generally for concentration on other exercises, like mind wavers, it can happen on 2-3 levels. It could be more Prakriti related, the body brain related issue. So we will have to see that. We have to see what is your Prakriti. So, and it could also be sensory overload. This is one of the main problems that we have these days. All our work, most of our work is based on sensory overload and clicking on the screen. No matter what you are doing, you are ending up working on the screen, right? And except unless you are doing some intense physical work, you are ending up on the computer screen, or you are ending up on some notebook. Nowadays, there is no notebook, only computer screen or phone screen, either for entertainment or for this. So especially, so you will have to, if you feel that you have very, very, your mind wavers, first thing what you can do, again, the moment you have recognized, oh, my attention has wavered, don't force yourself into concentration. You see, what is it wavering towards? Whatever the mind is wavering towards, concentrate on that. For example, I am starting and doing some japa, let us say. Then because I said Rama Rama, I remembered Hanuman, and because of Hanuman, I remembered a monkey in Arunachala, or Rishikesh, the monkey that took away my mango. Or once I was in Nandi Hills, the monkey came and took away my ice cream. I remember that, and then I start thinking about ice cream. Then different brands of ice cream. Then I remember the ice cream I had with my kid. Goes on and says, oh, again Rama Rama Rama. From Rama I went to ice cream because of Hanuman. So then I see, oh, then now I see, I know I don't concentrate on Rama. I got distracted. Oh, I forgot. Before I start my japa, I just see, I am thinking about this. Now, your mind is naturally going towards that object, whatever you call as distraction, towards which your mind has wavered to. Your mind has gone towards that. Now, start paying attention to how interesting that thing is. Because there is a natural interest in that object of distraction, mind is going towards, right? Just pay attention to that sense of interest in that and deliberately think about it. When you deliberately think about that, the background will switch back to the task at hand. No, then you come back. So you spend a few seconds, the moment you recognize a distraction, spend a few seconds on the natural force, the power of interest, the power of attraction that is naturally built inside that distraction. Stay in touch with that and feel it consciously, a few seconds. And then suddenly that force will drop and your mind will come back to this. Keep on doing that. Every time you start with a japa, you can practice it during japa. The best context for doing this is japa. Mental japa, not, don't move. You start with, you start with, let's say, Rama Rama, Shiva Shiva Shiva, you start with that. Then you stop the mouth. Only the tongue is moving. Stop that. You are trying to verbalize. That effort to verbalize is there. Keep it there. Tongue and effort to verbalize. Keep it at that level. Even you can do the upamshu, what they say, right? Upamshu. Like a whisper, but the sound is not coming out, but I am moving more. then I feel that I am making an effort to concentrate. Let go of that effort to concentrate. Relax your eyes, relax your mouth, relax your shoulders, hands, relax your toes. These are all the different parts of our body we strain without our knowledge when we are pushing ourselves to concentrate. So, very important, keep your eyes relaxed, eyebrows relaxed, facial muscles relaxed. Keep your shoulders and hands relaxed. Keep your toes relaxed. Keep your abdominal muscles relaxed. None of these parts should strain. And then you repeat that whatever is the nama you are repeating. Then it becomes, that tendency to force yourself to concentrate is there, right? Recognize that. Let go, relax it. It's all right. If you're going to get distracted, it is totally all right. Because we are here to understand how I am getting distracted. Now you want to control, you want to put an effort to concentrate. You want to do that because you feel like controlling something that is happening in the background. Let go of your control. Observe your background. Mantra is going on in the verbal level. Now, when you feel like thinking about that, then the mind is already thinking about something. You feel like, you feel like getting involved in something. Deliberately go behind the distraction and think about it. And then think about, right now I am thinking about this. Now, you can verbalize the experience. You can verbalize it. Okay, right now I am thinking about this in your mind, Okay, I feel like you verbalize your experience. So I am feeling attracted to this. I feel a sense of interest in this object, whatever it is. So I am remembering this. So I feel like this. So I am feeling attracted to this. I feel like staying on this thought more. I feel like staying with this more in my mind. Verbalize it in your mind. And now what am I supposed to do? Oh, I am supposed to do japa, but I am thinking about it. Oh, I am feeling this interest in this. Why am I feeling this interest in this? Just keep looking at your sense of interest. You will arrive at your sense of interest in the distraction. And suddenly it will stop. And suddenly the task at your hand, the japa, whatever, suddenly it will start brightening up in your mind. And then you come back to it, keep doing it. Keep on doing that. You will gain access to that circuit in your brain that keeps switching your attention. So that force will start becoming involved in the task at hand. So when you consciously spend time with the force of distraction, you will get back to concentration automatically. Because this concentration is a result of understanding and growing out of that distraction. So that is how we generally develop concentration, not by sustaining a dichotomy. Do not sustain a dichotomy like distracted mind is going on, and then there is the concentrating mind. Distracted mind, concentrating mind. This dichotomy should not be there. There is a mind. It is on what it's supposed to do. It is now on something it's not supposed to do. It has to realize it is in the wrong place, and then it will come back to the right place. So that's how we generally do. So it is already 7:03. I will take one more question and finish. Yes. I hope it was useful. So kindly bring your queries and feedbacks and the issues that you face in your sadhana. We will discuss it in the framework of
one more
Vedanta,
question in the
Patanjali
chat,
Yoga
sir.
Sutra, and
One more question in the chat.
one more, yeah. That is, thank you very much.
Geeta Naresh has asked.
Geeta Naresh, yeah.
This is
Difficult to remember the learnings at the correct time to apply. Yes, absolutely. I agree with you, Ma. Difficult. That is exactly why we need abhyasa. But one thing that can help in this situation, difficult to remember the learnings at the correct time is because your mind is occupied with something else. Right? So why is my mind occupied with something else? But if I really, honestly, when I analyze all the things my mind is occupied, I can make a list. What are the things that carry my attention away? So suppose if you are cooking and you have to do a seasoning. At that moment, the cooking has carried you away from your vista is all right. Because the seasoning has to come out properly. Otherwise, poor people, others have to eat. No, that's all right. But there are so many other things where my attention is hijacked, my sense of self is hijacked, and I am not able to remember because I get too involved in that, right? So you make a list of things in which you tend to get involved. The category of things you tend to get involved. So as a samsari, what we can do is vairagya. Vairagya for a samsari could be in the form of prioritizing. Like what in Bhagavad Gita is Swadarme Nidhanam Shraya Paradharmo Bhayava. Right? So Swadharma, Paradharma. Or in a simple word for our context here, what I have to do, I think it's my antivirus. It keeps on turning off the video. Okay. So there is what I have to do and what I need not do. So and what I should not do. Make a list, table column. What I have to do, where I have to be involved, and this will keep on changing. Maybe you can do that for every birthday. Every birthday after the party is over, you sit, look at your list. Have to do, need not do, should not do. Make a list. And whatever is the should not do, get rid of it first. And whatever is in the need not do, slowly get rid of it as much as you can. Minimize it. Then what you have to do, don't bother about it, keep doing it in your usual way. But if you take care of what I should not do and what I need not do, what we said, your ability to remember your teaching during the times when you are involved in what you have to do, kartavyam karma, what you have to do, during those times you will remember the teaching much better when you get rid of what you should not do. Like really get rid of what you should not. Don't do it. Don't be involved. Get rid of those situations in your life. We don't need those situations. And whoever is putting you into doing what you should not do, what you understand clearly as you should not do, all those people you are pushing you into, get rid of them. Very simple. So before we need satsanga, we need to first get rid of dussanga. So this is all those who put you into doing what you should not do, what you understand that you should not do, in your simple intellect, whatever you have understood based on your common sense, get rid of those people and situations that push you to do what you should not do. Absolutely first. Then what I need not do, prioritize it. What can I get rid of first? And keep on knocking off from that list as much as you can. Then you are controlling, it's called dhamyata. You are controlling at the level of organs of action. You are not doing what you should not do. Then you have a context to be more aware of the mind. Because you have to deal with the compulsion. You have to deal with the habitual, what we say in Tamil as adangam. Oh, yeah, but I know. No, I don't have to do that. I don't do that. Once you've decided not to do, you feel so compelled emotionally or sentimentally or whatever, don't do it. Then you have time to work with that inner compulsion towards that. Then you have a context. You have a context to work with your mind. When you are working with your mind, you have a context to remember all the teachings. So obviously, you will have to use the teachings, the learnings that you have done, in order to be able to handle your mind, which is called as shama. Shama is basically after you have stopped at the level of action, at the level of mind, you are processing your urges. You are processing the tendencies that push you into those situations which you have taken yourself away from. But still in the mind, you have a tendency to do it mentally. So you are working with that mental tendencies, for which you will have to remember the learnings, right? So we can start with that. And then automatically you will see your Nishta will improve during those times where you are doing what you have to do. Let us not question that immediately, because as you said, we have commitments and all that. So whatever is your commitment, whatever is your kartavyam karma that you have to do, don't question the fundamentals of that, because if we question too much, we will end up nowhere. So let that go on. but work with what you need not do and what you should not do. What you have to do, the Nishta in that will automatically taken care of. You can see that for yourself. When you really ruthlessly start doing that, you can see the result within a week. And we will discuss this again in next week. And you're going to come and tell me how it works. So that should be enough for the day. There is one more question. Tell me your message. Wonderful. Oh, Kartavya, you can question. She has written two about Kartavya, not to question. Don't question too much. You question only at the philosophical level. While the lifestyle goes on, you question at the practical level once we change the ashram. Whatever is Kartavyam Karma, we question within a certain limited context in a more philosophical way. We don't question it practically. Okay? So that 7:10, I started in 6:10. So thank you very much. I will complete my class with Shanti Mantra.
Thank
And
you.
then I'll give the session over to this one. Yes, Karamanyavadu. Thank you. Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritangamaya Om Shanti 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 Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Purnameva Udachyate Paramita Shanti Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yogeshwarji. It was really in turn very good session. And even we learned the tabular column, which is very easy and simple method, so that automatically it get registered in our minds. And for all of you, there is an information. Tomorrow, I'm just sharing my screen. So tomorrow we have a session that is Visishta Advaita Vedanta. Please kindly note it starts from 7 to 8 p.m. tomorrow in the evening. So please log in by 6:55. And if you have any queries or any feedbacks, please kindly share your queries or feedback to feedback.saw@gmail.com. I have mentioned in the chat box, or if you are uncomfortable with it, you can WhatsApp us at the two numbers which I have mentioned. So thank you. Thank you so much.
If you send your questions beforehand, I will be more prepared for certain difficult questions with more Shastra background in my mind. Because I am not a Sarvagya.